Hey guys, welcome back to the show that never ends. My name is Rod and I am your happy hippie. This is kind of a vinyl finds video. In fact, that's exactly what it is. It's not kind of a vinyl finds video, it is a vinyl finds video. Real quick, let me tell you what we got playing in the background. Mickey Hart, Spirit into Sound. Of course, Mickey Hart, the drummer, one of the drummers for the Grateful Dead. Very relaxing CD, man. Really enjoy this one. I've got a small stack. I'm going to breeze through them pretty quickly, though. A recent pickup of mine. I believe this was an Amazon buy. Buddy guy. First time I met the blues, 1958 to 1963 recordings. And you could get this on Amazon at the time I bought it for like $10. Very, very cool. Early Buddy guy. Phenomenal guitar player. Puts on just a master show, bro. He really does. Sticking with the blues. Muddy Waters. This is a Chess record label printing. This is from the 1970s. The vinyl is actually in pretty decent shape. There's some scuff marks on it. Wonderful album by Muddy Waters. Got a good deal on it from my friend Tony. I've mentioned the guy Tony before. Local record seller. And he gave me a really sweet deal on this Muddy Waters. Love the blues. I've been a fan of the blues for probably over 30 years. So slowly rebuilding my blues collection. This was a Goodwill find. Fats Domino. Gotta have some Fats Domino. For 99 cents. Album's dirty, but it can be clean. I didn't see any scuff marks or scratches in it. Fats Domino Blueberry Hill for 99 cents. Booker T. Jones. I got this primarily because it is a promo copy, and it's a white label promo copy. And I had just got Stax does the Beatles, and he does a wonderful version of a Beatles song. I forget which one it was right now. I guess I could turn around and grab it. But Booker T. Jones for 99 cents. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Everyone knows this album. I thought it might be a gatefold. I think one of the versions may be a gatefold. But this is something I flip or give away for VLCT. Foundations. This is kind of a cool gatefold where it slides out from inside the album. If you're not familiar with these guys, they were a British blue-eyed soul band from the late 60s. Name of the album is Digging. Can't really get into it. I mean, they're decent musicians. This is something I put in my booth or end up flipping somewhere. And this is one I was really shocked to find at Goodwill. Tim Buckley. Happy, Sad. This is a wonderful folk / psych album. Tim Buckley is the father of the late Jeff Buckley. Tim Buckley died at 28, and his son Jeff Buckley died at 30. So both of them had very short lives. This is an early pressing of this album. Absolutely wonderful. If you see this album out in the wild and you like folk with that psych kind of blend, do yourself a favor. This is a great album, and I was just tickled that I found it in a bargain bin. I could not, and the album is in really, really good shape, surprisingly. Whoever had this album really loved this album because they took very good. The scene was split, but I take that. But the album itself, Tim Buckley, Happy, Sad, could not recommend this enough if you're into folk. Wonderful stuff. His son Jeff, I actually got to interview back in the, I guess, the late 90s. And his son was a wonderful musician, and his son tragically drowned. So, very sad lives for both of them. Candy-O, this is a Cars album everybody must own. And there's a new shop in Clinton, and it's a vintage kind of shop. It's in the middle of the antique district, but they mainly deal in vintage furniture and vintage t-shirts. Really, really, really cool store in Clinton, Tennessee. And they had this in there. Album's in really good shape. And I'm thinking they're gonna want $7 or $8 for it maybe. I said, how much for the Cars? And they're like, well, how about $1? I'm like, how about that? And I gladly gave them $1 for Candy-O by the Cars. Fun album, probably my favorite Cars album. Definitely some good stuff on here. Has a song Let's Go. Candy-O, of course. The Cars. Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel of Love. I first checked this album out when it came out. It came out right after Born in the USA. And I remember there was a video store in our neighborhood up in DC that rented albums. And I did not like it. Did not like it. But I got it for a couple bucks. I figure I'm going to recheck it out. It's the boss, Bruce Springsteen. The album is in really good shape. Has the original sleeve that went with it. And, I mean, come on, a couple bucks for Bruce. Who's going to say no, right? Steely Dan, Pretzel Logic. This is far and away, in my opinion, the best Steely Dan album they made. Jazz rock. This is really more rock than some of their later stuff. And on the flip side, I mean the final side, Monkey in Your Soul, it almost has a psych feel to it. Steely Dan, fantastic album by Steely Dan. Fantastic price on it, could not pass it up. And here's one that's really out of my realm, out of my box. I've only got one other album by these guys, but it's Kiss, Creatures of the Night. Album was in really good shape. Had the original insert in with it. Had the song Creatures of the Night, I Love It Loud, War Machine. And this is actually a really good, solid rock and roll album. Strange thing though, it was sealed, but it was obviously not a new album. You can see the damage on the cover. And the person had it sealed, and I was like, man, this is not old new stock. This is not an original seal of this album. And he said he put seals on them so people won't handle the album. But he said if you buy it and you're not happy with it on the spot, I'll give you your money back. But I'm not going to open it, then let you decide to buy it, which kind of made no sense. But I said, okay. So I bought it, checked it out, and I agreed I'll keep it because it was in really good shape. Creatures of the Night. I know there's a lot of Kiss fans out there. Melinda, Ron Haggerty, Channel 33. I think he's a Kiss fan. But I delved deep in this album, And I gotta say, I really, really, really dig this album. I got this Beach Boys album, and I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what this is. I had never seen it before. It's a double record gatefold. I mean, it's kind of beat, but it's still stiff, you know. It's a double record set by the Beach Boys. On one side, it's Pet Sounds, and on the other side, it's one album is Pet Sounds, and the other album is Carl and the Passion So Tough. Passion So Tough. Carl and the Passion So Tough. I guess they were killing two birds with one stone, and they re-released both albums together. I never had Pet Sounds on vinyl. I have it on CD, and now I got it. And the Pet Sounds is in mono, and the other album that came with it is in stereo. And I'm real happy with this, because Pet Sounds was on my want list. So, I don't know why they packaged it like this. I'm sure someone out there does. If you do, let me know in the comments. Dire Straits, picked up a copy of this. Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. In my opinion, it's the best one they did. Had the original insert with it. Some early Dire Straits. Phenomenal guitar work by Mark Knopfler. And in my opinion, he's one of the most underrated guitar players out there. You don't really hear his name when people talk about, you know, the guitar legends or the guitar monsters. But the dude did it all. British guy, played rock and roll, played country, Dire Straits. And this was another one, I got to admit I was not familiar with it. It's Pre-Flight. It is a Birds album. It's a compilation, mostly their early stuff. It's got Gene Clark, Michael Clark, Chris Hillman, and a very, very young David Crosby. Look how young he was, man. Great album. And I know, is it Hanna or Beth? One of the ladies out there is a huge Birds fan, so she probably knows all about this album. Great stuff. Happy with it. And I couldn't believe I found all these records at a very reasonable price. 10 years after, Cricklewood Green. Phenomenal album. Best album they ever did. I've already played it 2 or 3 times. 10 years after. Of course, Alvin Lee played guitar for that band. Alvin Lee is another just phenomenal guitarist. And getting down to the final two, I think I'm going to show this one now. The guitars that have destroyed the world, or the guitars that destroyed the world. I've heard about this album. I had never seen it, and I went ahead and bought it. Really a cool thing. Take off my glasses. It's got Johnny Winter on here. It's got Blue Oyster Cult, Edgar Winter, John McLaughlin. Just some phenomenal guitar work on this compilation album. So I was just tickled pink with that one. Did I just take the album out and set it down somewhere? I'll look for it later. And last but certainly not least, Meet the Beatles. I have the stereo version of this. This is the mono. See where it says also available in stereo. This is the mono version of Meet the Beatles. I've got the stereo one. So I'll probably get rid of the stereo one. I might keep it, but I don't need 2 copies of the same album usually. But I may keep it in this case. But really happy to find this. And look at the vinyl. Can y'all see? Maybe not. Yeah, the vinyl is in really good shape. Anyway, really happy with my latest finds. The vinyl gods were good to me. The Lord's always good to me, though. So, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Had a great day. I felt wonderful. I was able to get out, ride to the post office, and mail out a package for somebody in the VC. I've got 2 more to mail out. I've been talking to a couple people over Messenger and letting them know, hey, it's on the way. It was a bad couple weeks for me, but it's getting better. So I'm slowly getting out the VCLT to the people. Peace. God bless y'all. Again, Mickey Hart in the background. Great CD. If you're into instrumental kind of just new age stuff, check this album out. You can't go wrong with Mickey Hart, bro. You can't go wrong with Mickey. Hope everyone has a good week. Be good to each other.